Good morning, everybody. My name is Aiello, and I'm the Area Director for USDA Rural Development. USDA is a large federal department, and I work for one agency. I don't represent all of USDA. There's probably 20 different agencies within USDA. Rural development is basically a bank for rural areas, and it provides assistance to rural communities for things like water and sewer systems, fire stations, health clinics, hospitals, those type of things. It also does have housing programs, both single-family housing and multifamily housing in rural areas, through loans and loan guarantees. And we also are involved with economic development in rural areas. So I kind of like to think that we're not really a private bank, but we do provide quite a bit of financial support to rural communities. One thing that this current administration has really made important to us in the field is an initiative called Know Your Farmer, Know Your Food. So if you don't remember anything else I say, you might want to jot that down, Know Your Farmer, Know Your Food. And there's a website that USDA has that describes that initiative and some of the things that we're trying to do. And just briefly, that initiative really wants to support local farmers. We want to foster the viability and the growth of farms in rural areas and create new opportunities for farmers and ranchers by promoting locally produced foods, and also to build infrastructure with local partners to support local and regional food systems. There's other aspects to that as far as the benefits of healthy eating and the multiplier effects in rural economies as far as the impacts that farmers and ranchers have on an economy. Also, farmers are stewards of the land, and a healthy farm is part of a healthy community. And so there's an encouragement to, for healthy, sustainable agricultural practices, and work with farmers and ranchers to improve their resource management and lower their energy costs. And the thing with the chicken poop is, that's just amazing to me. That's just a major accomplishment, and I hope that moves forward. And currently our agency has a program called the Renewable Energy Alternative Program set up for growers, and it's open right now for applications, trying to look at alternative ways that growers can use energy, renewable energy. The other thing is that we want to try to preserve farm and ranch lands and encourage smart growth in rural areas. Agriculture, as far as greenhouse gas effects, there's some benefits to the problem as far as the forest land and grasslands and whatnot that contribute to the health of the planet. And there are some practices that can act as a detriment. So this is something that USDA is taking a look at now, and the data that I've looked at, as far as greenhouse gases, as far as a national policy as it affects agriculture, it's developing right now. I've had the unique perspective to work in Sonoma County for many years and seen the federal government, the state government, and local government work through issues, for example, on a water system. And I could talk about water, but that's a whole other subject in this county. But it's kind of hard. It's become very difficult in recent years to move projects forward and make things happen. And I think greenhouse gas, the way we look at important land resources like floodplains and wetlands and things like that, greenhouse gas effects are going to become something that is going to have to be reviewed in environmental impact reports and that type of thing to a higher degree than they currently are right now. I'm not exactly sure where all that's going, but I do see that as something that is going to occur. And there has been some talk about agricultural participation in a proposed cap and trade market where, permits would be used for perhaps emissions, and that there might be some incentives to growers for some of the things that they do in the way of credits, where certain crops that they planted or crops that they didn't plant, that they could be paid to set aside land and whatnot. And that's still just being talked about. It could be something that was private. It could be something else. I'm not exactly sure where that's going, but that is something that is being reviewed. And the USDA does have a couple of existing programs right now related to programs that could be examples of what could be used in the future. There's the Conservation Reserve Program. It offers payments to farmers to voluntarily retire highly erodible or environmentally sensitive cropland from production for 10 to 15 years. Enrolled land is then planted to grass or trees, thereby reducing water pollution, improving wildlife habitat, sequestering carbon, and providing other environmental benefits. And the other program that's currently in existence through the Natural Resource Conservation Service is the EQIP program, and that provides payments to farmers who adopt a wide range of conservation practices for crop and livestock production. To participate, a producer enters into a contract to implement a specific conservation practice for 1 to 10 years. So there may be some movement to similar programs as as far as the impacts on greenhouse gases. So that was just a quick, brief overview. I know I covered a lot of things, but I know that time is limited, so thank you.